Operation Domination is underway. The ultimate game plan to dominate your NFL experience. With your hosts, Dan Maiden.
But what's more impressive to me about the
Chase
fact
Thornton.
Yeah, I mean, I got it.
Chris Dowhouse.
Get him, Chase. Get him, Chase.
And Adam
No,
LaRue.
not necessarily, but it's again the same.
Don't hope to win. Be great and dominate.
Then let's wrap this up quickly before we push too far past the hour mark here. The tight end position here in this division, interesting situation. We've got a couple of guys that are pretty universally ranked as starting options, and then we've got a couple of wide ass open question marks here. Jake Ferguson, we all have, I think, ranked as the top guy in the division there. Coming off a phenomenal season last year, kind of a breakout season, as it were, for him. We know that Dallas likes their tight ends. They always seem to try and use their tight ends, and it seems like they've got their next one here in Jake Ferguson. He ended up last season as the tight end 9 overall, only 5 receiving touchdowns, but saw over 100 targets. He was one of a handful of guys that saw over 100 targets there at the tight end position. I think you can expect the same kind of thing for him there, but Adam, you've got him ranked at number 11. Chris, you've got him ranked at number 5. So real quick here, give us.
You two are both on mute, by the way.
Oh, excellent. Well, now I've been unmuted because thank you to our behind the scenes producer there behind the glass for getting me unmuted here. But we've got a showdown here now. Chris, you're the one, you have him been ranked at number 5. You've got Ferguson ranked all the way up at number 5. You're kind of the farthest out of whack of all of us. Dan's got him at 9. I've got him at 8. Adam, you've got him all the way down at 11. So like I said, we've all got him kind of as a tight end 1. Chris, why do you have him at tight end 5? Why are you so excited about some Jake Ferguson this season?
Well, kind of what I said, Chase, why I didn't care about the receiver 2 option question was because I think the receiver 2 is clearly the picture is the tight end position in this offense. That's who we've seen Dak Prescott always look for. We saw Dalton Schultz become his best friend previous. It's not about the talent per se. People keep talking about Jake Ferguson and special talented-wise. Same thing with Dalton Schultz, but it matters who the quarterback likes to throw the ball to. It also matters who the guy the coordinator can scheme for. With CeeDee Lamb being that kind of chess piece, it allows a lot of things Justin Ferguson to be kind of a secondary read. You see a guy who he looked for in the red zone quite often. Had twice as many touchdown catches last year as Dalton Kincaid. Just want to point that out. So put all those things together. You're looking at a guy who has his first good year last year, tight end position. Usually the third year is the breakout. Had to break out the second year. Guy's going to be his third year in his offense. A guy who's the second priority in his offense, who's going to put 30 points on the board week in, week out. A team that we have questions about the running attack, but we have no questions about the passing attack. So I want a piece of that, and I think Jake Ferguson is one of the safest pieces I can have. So that's why I have him on the top 5 receiver, or top 5 tight end option.
All right, Adam, your rebuttal.
I don't have a great argument. For me, it's just look. I'm gonna be honest. I how you feel about Hooper is how I feel about Ferguson. I think in the top 16 tight ends, I really strongly feel he's the least talented player. Like straight up, I don't think he's that good of a tight end. At least in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, in the Chase, as you like to say, in the population, he's a great football player. I don't.
Right.
Just at fantasy football, do I genuinely think he's of the 12 most talented tight ends? No. 16? Probably not. That's when the conversation starts. But kind of what I was saying with Neighbors, at a certain point, yeah, I agree. If the quarterback's going to throw to him as much as, it's been happening, then he's going to have value. And that's why I had him. It was a low-end starter. I think he's a starter. I think you draft him. You feel good about the starters. But I think tight end position is at a really good spot right now where there are 14 guys this season that have a case to be made that they can be starting type tight ends. So for me, when I'm looking at it, I'm going to gamble on the guys that I think are more talented because I feel more secure, that their jobs are safe, that, realistically, do I think one of the Dallas tight end backups could come in and, do 80% of Ferguson? If he got hurt. I'm not saying anyone's passing him on the depth chart. Let's be clear, but I don't think he is much above replacement is the point that I'm getting to. So for me, I'm just going to bet on the better talents that I see. So okay, I think he's a starter because of volume, but that's it.
If I'm hearing you correctly, you don't think he's quite the generational talent that say Jermichael Finley was. Yeah, right? Like you just think he's a dude. He's a dude.
Was a much better tight end.
He's a dude in a good situation, is what you're saying. And anybody else who is a dude could probably fill in and hit that. I don't think I agree with that quite so much. I think that he is a good fit in this offense. And I think he's a better fit than a lot of other guys would be. I don't think he's one of the lesser talented guys in the top 16. But then again, he's a Wisconsin guy. I'm probably looking at through Cardinal colored glasses there, because of it. But okay. Well, I mean, you still have him ranked, like you said. You still have him ranked as a tight end 1. It's a good dilemma to have there. Dallas Goedert, we kind of all have ranked as the second best tight end option in this division. He's kind of, listen, here's my take on Goedert. I don't think anybody necessarily disagrees. You've got the new coordinator in Kellen Moore there in Philadelphia, but I'm not worried about that because the way I see Dallas Goedert is he's somewhere between Dalton Schultz, who was tight end 9 under Kellen Moore in 2022, and Gerald Everett, who was tight end 22 under Kellen Moore in 2023. So I'm not worried about the Kellen Moore factor there. You know what you're going to get with Dallas Goedert. You're going to get 10 points per game, roughly, and you're going to get 4 touchdowns this season, and he's going to be a low tight end 1, and he's going to have no real upside. I don't necessarily want to target him in best ball because he's not really going to have those spike weeks. He's just going to kind of keep moving on. He's going to show up. He's going to get you his floor. He's not going to get you a whole hell of a lot more than that, and his ceiling is not overly high. He's safe. Dallas Goedert is not going to win you your league. And by the way, he hasn't seen over 9 targets in a game since 2020. So, I mean, he's going to be a steady dude. He's going to be a presence, but he's not necessarily going to do anything for you that's exciting. Okay. So I'm not worried about Dallas Goedert from that standpoint. He's a low end tight end 1. Deal with it. But there's a couple of questions with the other 2 teams in this division real quick to finish up here. In Washington, Ben Sinnott, Zach Ertz. Does Sinnott profile for either one of you guys as a possibly fantasy relevant rookie tight end? Chris, go.
I want to say yes, Chase, because I know how Kingsbury loves to use the tight end position. Is also offense is going to use 2 tight ends quite often in their offense. We saw that kind of conversion towards the end of his career in Arizona. We saw that continue on in USC. It's something we're hearing a lot out of camp for Washington so far. So I think the usage is going to be that you've seen the receivers, Zach Ertz kind of resurgence when he got traded to Arizona after having his career basically dying in Philadelphia. So I want to say yes, but I talk about just a dude to me. Benson is just a dude to me. I think is a guy I have not very excited about when it comes to his talent. Is a guy who I think is like going to make Zach Ertz go away. So both those things I think is a guy that might have some spike weeks maybe towards the end of the season. You like having him because he's maybe taking the position over. But overall, isn't a guy that either one of these guys I really want to have.
Adam, your take on it, Sinnott versus Ertz.
If you were being a cheapo at tight end, do you want to gamble? I don't necessarily hate Ertz because I do think there's upside based on potential volume. I think that there's a world in which Ertz is the check down guy rather than Eckler. But am I necessarily like betting on that and like a over 50% type of thing? Not really. But hey, if in the last round of your draft, you want to throw a dart on a tight end because, you either drafted yours late, like sure, go for it.
Chris's point about Ben Sinnott being just a guy is everything that I said about him all through the process of the draft. I said that, listen, he looks like he's not quite the pass catcher that a lot of these other dudes are. He's not the blocker that, say, George Kittle is. He's not the runner that, say, Kyle Juszczyk. He's kind of like, is he a fullback that kind of pushes out wide a little bit? Is he a tight end? Is he a move guy? Is he not? He's just kind of a dude. He's nothing special. He's no generational talent like Finley. Here's the thing that happened last time Cliff Kingsbury paired Zach Ertz with a supposedly talented rookie tight end. It was Ertz and Trey McBride, and Ertz had that job until he got hurt late in the season, and then McBride took over. I think that's exactly what you see here, because I think what you're going to want to do with a rookie quarterback is have the guy in Zach Ertz who knows the offense, knows where he's supposed to be, and is going to be there, much like I said last year with Adam Thielen for Bryce Young, being that safety blanket veteran who you can count on to be in the right position. I think that's Zach Ertz, especially first half of the season. So yeah, if I'm trying to gamble on one of the guys, maybe Zach Ertz, just because I think he gets that first half of the season usage. I don't want either one of them necessarily this season. Sinnott might end up being relevant long-term, but I'm just not overly excited about him because I don't think he's Jermichael Finley. Now, moving on to New York real quick. The last topic we'll talk about real quick. Theo Johnson or Daniel Bellinger. We've got the rumors that Waller supposedly is retiring, and Kelsey Plum is probably happy to hear that. So who ends up being the guy in New York, and do we care? Theo Johnson, Daniel Bellinger. Adam, we'll start with you.
Bellinger will see more snaps. Theo Johnson will see more targets. Neither of them will matter in any capacity.
Chris.
I think Theo Johnson by far, I think there's a chance he has some kind of value down the road because I think there's very few red zone targets in this Giants offense.
To get all 15 passing touchdowns?
Okay, he could catch half of them, Adam. He could catch half of them. So
yeah, he's the red zone dude.
And I think that we know Darren Waller was going to be the feature part of this offense. We know Daniel Jones is going to attack the middle of the field. That's the only things he can really do. And everything coming out of camp, Theo Johnson's been heavily involved in their passing attack, one of the more guys that are kind of primarily focusing a lot of usage with. So I think we saw Dawson Knox have kind of a decent year when Brian Gable was still there as a touchdown catcher in the red zone particularly. I think that's where you get Theo Johnson have similar value.
You know, Daniel Bellinger, I mean, he had it rough. You know, his rookie season, didn't he shatter his orbital bone? Like his eye socket literally or something, like he missed a bunch of time there, and it cost him in his rookie season. I think Bellinger ends up being more of the down in, down out tight end for this team. But kind of to the point that Adam made a little bit and a point that I made in the draft process, I thought Theo Johnson could have an immediate red zone opportunity in whatever team he was drafted to, because he is a willing blocker and a big dude. He's still 6 foot, 7 foot almost, and I thought he could have red zone opportunities be as a target. So I think Bellinger is more the starter. I think Theo Johnson could see more value in the red zone. And like you said, when the targets in the red zone are going to be few and far between for this team and the passes are not going to come fast and furious, a guy who has red zone value on this team could be the more valuable of the two. I'm not excited about either one of them at this point in their careers, though. Dan, they're down there reminding us, if you check the comments, check the comment stream here on this podcast here, Dan's got all kinds of bets here, future bets for you to check out there.
Well, he's giving us.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Chase, go ahead. He's giving us our Underdog Special for today's show. And, we always want you to go check out Underdog. But he has Jaden Daniels over 500.5 rushing yards is his Underdog Special tonight. For the past 2 years in college, he had over 1,000 last year. Kingsbury is running a similar offense to use for Kyler. So that's Dan's Underdog bet of the night for our special. Looking for 500.5 yards over for Jaden Daniels.
I think Jaden Daniels is a better rusher than Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray had 544 yards rushing his rookie season under Cliff Kingsbury there. We will be back on Thursday night, as Dan's put up down there, next week, Thursday night. Keep in mind, not Wednesday night, Thursday night next week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have special guest Bob Long. He of the Consistency Report fame and, of course, the Fantasy Football Expo down there. We're going to be talking the AFC North next week. Check out Fantasy Football Advice Network for articles from Dan and plenty of other guys, and you can find us wherever you get your favorite podcasts there. Find us on social media there. Give it a follow, and hey, sign up on Underdog. Use that promo code Fantasy Football Advice. Get yourself a discount there, and give us a hand here. Thank you for putting up with all of the technical difficulties.
It's a process.
It's a work in process, as Adam likes to say. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be back next Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Find us on social media, and we are out of here.
Hey there, I'm proud to say that Underdog Fantasy is the newest sponsor of our show, and it's my favorite place to play fantasy games. No waivers, no trades, no lineup settings, just best ball for season-long drafters all year long. And you gotta check out Pick'em. It's so easy to play. Just pick 2 to 5 stats of your favorite players. You can choose whether they go higher or lower on those stats, and if you can pick 5 in a row, you can win 20 times your money. Sound like fun? Well, guess what? You can sign up with promo code FFAdvice today to claim your special pick, plus a first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. I cannot wait to see your entries.